one that's flashing is light is bright. Oh, it's light green. Yeah. I don't think hopefully that's the one. The number three is oh, you know what? The number three one is the one that's flashing. And that is it. Kind of snakes the angle. Yep. Yep. They're color budgets. What? Dynamic. Okay. Yeah. That was you fine. Yeah. Yeah, there's outputs and then there's maps. And now I'm getting. Yeah. Kind of,
Fouled that one off. Ooh. The underside of the front of the grandstand roof and straight to the back row, almost into our commentary booth here at the top of the grandstand. Another 2-2 coming for the Manley third base. Going in the 4-hole, inside lays off. Doesn't break enough for Caracassis to freeze Morris. Can argue Morris did freeze. The ball's out of the zone. He's going to face a 3-2 here. He draws the walk to lead it off to Manley. Trailing 3-0, they'll need plenty of walks. Maybe some confusion with the pitch count. So they're just discussing what the ruling on one of the pitches. They're going to say it was a foul ball earlier in the count, which somebody which may have been confused for a ball. Zach Morris was claiming it hit him, but umpire Steve Bigwood saying it was in fact a foul. So Morris will have to walk the 90 feet back into the Manly batter's box, put his batting gloves back on, and face another pitch here from Caracassis. Nervous start by the Manly pitcher, Aidan Patterson, in the first couple of walks and a couple of hits by Ryde. Sees them lead this game 3-0. We apologise for the audio issues through the first inning. Well, we have them sorted now. We are hopefully back to normal the rest of the day. It's amazing how things can change overnight. Had the women's game on here last night, packed up and left, and Gremlin's got in a system overnight and threw us off for a curveball. Too low. So for the second time in the at-bat, Zach Morris will trot up to first base. He's hoping this time he'll get to stay there. Dan Mills batting in the 5-hole for Manley. Recently committed to Columbia University in New York. Congratulations to Daniel for securing his baseball future at the collegiate level. Morris with his lead at first. Caracassis set. Ground ball hit to the left side. In the dirt by Cho into centre field. Morris sliding into second, but he gets up. Thinks about going to third. Cho really only had one play on that one. He went for the big play to try and get the lead runner. But he throws it in the dirt. It'll be probably a throwing error by Cho, although ball was hit softly. He had a lot of room to cover, so maybe Mills will be credited with a hit. We'll see how the score is recorded in the book. But for Manley, it's a pair of runners on now, trailing by 3. There's a play here in the second inning. Brings up Manley's catcher, Lachlan Ludbrook. Outside corner, call to strike by Steve Bigwood. Manly runners take their lead around the bases. Caracassis fires it in. This one to the shortstop. Nice play to get the lead runner, but safe over at first. Ludbrook will beat it out. Nice diving play there by Lincoln. Gruppler flipped it up to Lachlan Heath. But Heath couldn't quite finish off the play to turn 2. Ludbrook gets a board on the fielder's choice. Manley have their first run of the ball game 90 feet away, just the one out now. And it brings up their first baseman, Ash Egan. Check on Lockbrook over at first, just back on the base. Umpires today, Steve Bigwood behind the plate, Lachlan. Sorry, Brandon Lee at first, and Reese Callahan at third. Ball comes out of the glove of Flocker at first, but Brooks back on the base. Morris thinking about maybe sneaking in behind the play. Took a bit of a secondary, a third of the way down the line, but heads back to first. Egan pops it up right side. Flocker after it in foul territory. And the ball will fall foul. Nice diving attempt out there by Brad Dalton. Dalton and Flocker have come together. It looks like Flocker's worse for wear. You heard the effects might be, oh shit, from somebody in the dugout. Well, hope Flocker's all right. Went a long way to get it. Would have been a very good catch. Even a run led to a run for Manley on the sacrifice fly with the fielders sprawled out on the ground. So it was a nice strong start by Ryde in the first inning. With Luke Donaghy grounding out, Josh King striking out, and Kane Flew flying out to end the top of the first. Pippa Wilson got the bottom of the first starter with a single in the centre field for Lincoln Gruppala and Oliver Flocker, both hit by a pitch below the bases. Lucas Gallardo grounded out. It was an RBI ground out. Ryan Cho popped out for Brad Dalton, singled into centre field to drive in a pair. And Lachlan Heath grounded out to end the inning. Had the walk and the fielder's choice so far in this inning. And it is reported as an error to Ryan Cho, third base for Ryde. Throw it at first, but Lodbrook standing on top of the base. Caracas maybe just checking on Flocker at first, making sure he can catch the ball. Right side, through the inside, nice bit of hit in there for Egan. Lodbrook will pull up at second. Cut off over in right field by Brad Dalton. And Manley do get that first one on the board here in the second. Nice bit of hitting there by Ash Egan, going inside out on that one. Driving along the ground. Nothing that Lachlan Heath could do. It's out of his reach and underneath him. A little bit of confidence here for Manley. They look to claw back this 3-run deficit. Austin Holly now the hitter for the Eagles. Batted down in the 8th hole. Sends over the top of that one. 0-2. Manley right fielder. Great encouragement coming out of that Manley dugout. Oh, 2 again here to Holly. Outside corner pulls it. And they run to move up the extra 90 feet. Now Manley have a chance to tie the game. Tension on a base hit to the outfield. They should be able to get at least one. Holly can find a gap. It may tie the ball game. Caracas, though, he's ahead in the count. 1-2. And he goes up the ladder. Gets Holly swinging. He's not happy with himself. He secures a very important second out to Brad Karakatis. So Manley will send up their 9-hole hitter and their starting pitcher, Ryde Patterson. And as I mentioned, had a bit of a nervous start in his first inning on the mound. Hacks at the first pitch, but it'll get out of play. Big hi to everyone watching online. First of 3 games here today on the Baseball New South Wales YouTube page. Part of playoff baseball. We have the women's first grade grand final at 3 o'clock, followed by game 2 of our first grade men's preliminary final between Blacktown and Morecambe Hills. Blacktown with the 1-0 lead in the series after a 1-0 lead on Wednesday night. Aidan Patterson now choking up a little bit on his back. Rips that one up the line, but it'll hit the new netting here at Blacktown International Sports Park and go foul. Manley would love to tie the ball game up here. Inside pitch, Patterson does it again. This time it's going to fall in play. A nice diving attempt out there by Brad. It's going to go all. Aidan Patterson's heading around second over at third base. He's going to get the wave home from six shooters, but he's going to be held. The stop sign goes up, and it's a 2-run triple there by Aidan Patterson. The pitcher coming up and getting the work done himself. He had the shaky start in the first with a couple of hit batters, and he's gone out and he's erased the deficit in one swing of the bat. It was a bit of a humpback liner into right field. Heap did his best to get it. He was going to score at least 1 run if Heap had just played it on the bounce, but he laid out for it. Egan scored from second. Patterson almost had himself an inside the park home run, but Sean Shivers threw up the stop sign. Manley have tied the game here in the top of the second. It'll be up to Patterson now when they come out in the bottom half of the inning to put up a very important 0. Keep this game tight. Luke Donaghy now gets a second chance with the stick. Rounded out to Ryan Cho in the first. Right side, Pete now, couple of bounces. And that'll end the top of the second. But Manley claw it, they get 3. We head to the bottom of the second, tied up at 3. Jonah Bethel leaders off for Ryde here. 8-9-1 due up for the Hawks. Inside corner, but a little bit low by Adam Patterson. Manley clawing their way back into this game in a tie ball game. Started fresh here in the bottom of the second. Outside corner, that's where he was only for on his first pitch. Finds it here on his second pitch. 1 ball and a strike. Ground ball to Morris up the third baseline. Just foul by Maurice Callahan at third. I don't know. I was just going to ask the question by how much. It looked like it was going to stay fair a very long way. Then just took a bit of a bounce there before crossing third base. And Zach Morris played it pretty well. Maybe would have liked to see him make the play across the diamond, just in case it was called fair. That's popped up on the infield. In foul territory, rather. Lovebrook underneath it. Makes the catch in foul territory. And he secures out number 1 here in the second. One away here for Manley. Important that they put up that big 0. Liam Warren. 9-hole hitter for Ryde. 7 on the bench for Ryde, 4 for Manley, so plenty of options for both coaches. Couple more for Ryde, though. That one on the ground. Morris dives from his knees. That's pretty. Nice play there by Zach Morris. Didn't even think about getting to his feet. Probably had a little bit more time given how hard the ball was hit to him. But sometimes if you overcomplicate things, that's when mistakes happen. And there is a second out of the inning. Back to the top of the lineup now for Ryde with Cooper Wilson, who saw plenty of first-grade action throughout the season. Breaking ball by Patterson, just missing a little bit low. Want to know here to the leadoff man for Ryde. A little bit high this time. But 2-0. 3-3 ball game, bottom of the second. Outside corner, finds the zone. Make it 2-1. Hitters count there for Wilson, but excited to take the pitch. That one ripped up the line to get over the head of Zach Morris at third base. Nothing you can do with that one. Cooper Wilson has a 2-out single to extend the inning here for Ryde. So a pair of hits for him. Check on Wilson over at first. He is the speedster. It's Cooper Wilson. Slide step by Patterson, but misses too high. Check by Patterson. Slide step again. Wilson thinks about it, and again, Patterson misses high. So he's trying to keep the runner at first, and he's doing a good job of it, but means that he's sacrificing somewhere else, and that's with his delivery. See if there's a change in tactic here from Aiden Patterson. Two-way from Patterson. Wilson goes this time. Ludbrook with the throw. A little bit short. They get the strike call, though, on Gruppler. But Patterson gets himself into the count. Second stolen base for Cooper Wilson and as many at-bats. Fouled off by Gruppler. Count evens out at 2-2. Strike three called. Huge breaking ball by Aiden Patterson. Freezes Gruppler. He looks back in utter confusion, thinking, what was that pitch? And Ryde go down in the second. They have a two-out single by Cooper Wilson. But Manley put up the important 0. They'll come back to bat in the top of the third, hoping to take the lead here in this under-18 preliminary final. Josh King grounds out to start things here in the third. Kane flew the next man up for Manley. That one getting just inside. It's going to take Steve Bigwood. That's going to hurt. Looks like it may be on the arm or the wrist. He's writhing in pain there. He's got one in the chest earlier. It looks like it's on the arm. Just below the elbow. Straight away the call for ice goes out. So we'll have a moment just to make sure our Home plate umpire's okay. Big bag of ice there by Kai Stacey. Comes in handy. That'll sting a little bit. Current Cassis with some decent velocity on his pitch. Kane Flew, though, could have, done the umpire a favour and maybe worn that on his stomach. Save umpire Bigwood a world of pain. Right. 3-3 here in the third. Ryde struck for 3 in the bottom of the first. Manley responded with 3 of their own in the top of the second.
Bass, can you call John Barry, please?
Looks like we might be losing an umpire here. As the caller's gone out to contact the umpire's coordinator. Here on the effects mic. Mr. Wilson just turned down. So we'll pause here and we hope Steve Bigwood's okay. And we'll come back once we get treatment to our home plate umpire.
Dribbles.
So Reece Callahan will be the backup umpire to take over from Steve Bigwood. We hope Steve is okay after taking that fastball on the arm. We'll get an injury update on our umpire in due course. Kane Flew was 2-0 before the injury. He's now 2-2. Goes the opposite way. Long run for the shortstop. Gets to it. Does Gruppala, but he won't have a play. And there's a single there for Kane Flew. One away with Josh King grounding out. Also to Gruppala at shortstop. Outside corner. The ball one to Zach Morris, who started the Manley rally in the second with his, you can call it 2 walks. Thought he had drawn the walk, got called back, faced another 2 pitches before officially drawing the walk. 1-1. Here to Morris. Cassis goes upstairs. It's a little bit high. So one into the Manley third base. If you are watching online, make sure you shout us out and say g'day. Let us know where you're watching from. If you've got any questions, shoot them through. We'll get them answered for you. If we don't have the answer, we'll just make it up. Top of the zone. 3-1 here to Morris. Cassis unable to get it low enough. Now, they did have an arm earlier, warming up in the bullpen, but has since come back and sat down. And Patterson got into a little bit of trouble in the first. Almost got out of it. Except for the Brad Dalton 2-run single to give Ryde the 3-0 lead, which Manly then responded with 3 of their own. Fouled it off the foot of the catcher Gallardo. Sting for a minute. Three and two, full count here to Zach Morris. Ground ball again through the left side. This one gets through the hole. Zach Morris has himself a base hit, single into left field. Keep the inning going for Manley. That brings out the Ryde manager, in fact, Matt O'Neill. Just a quick word with his starter. So one out for Manley, couple of runners on. Dan Mills. Columbia University commit. Reached on error, charge to Frank Chow. We tried to turn a double play on a slow infield roller. And one fouled off into the stands, bouncing off the back row of seats, then finding its way back into the Ryde Hawks dugout. Nice breaking pitch there by Caracactus. Mills can only look at it and appreciate the pitch. Check swing off the handle. Will remain 0-2. Caracactus ahead in this count. Tried to go with the slider, but pulled it too far out of the zone. One-two into Mills. Mills pops it up. That will be playable out there for the centre fielder, Cooper Wilson. Ryde will have their second out. Or maybe it was off the hands of Mills a little bit more and may have been threatening to fall into the Bermuda Triangle, but Wilson had it the whole way. And the regulation catch. Kane flew wandering at second, not tagging. He knew where the ball was. From Ludbrook checks his swing, but the ball is still called a strike. Grounded into the fielder's choice. Back on the bottom of the first, and came round to score on the Aidan Patterson triple. One-on-one here to the Manly catcher. Can Patterson be the one to give Manly the lead for the first time today? Not quite tonight. Outside corner. Caracactus missing there, 2-1. Top of the third here at Blacktown International Sports Park. The first of three games coming your way on the Baseball New South Wales YouTube channel. Playoff baseball. Another foul ball worn by Lucas Gallardo inside of the thigh by the looks of where he's running and rubbing. Get a bit of pain this time. A couple of knocks for Steve Bigwood, one taking him out of the game. Lucas Gallardo's had a couple here, one on the foot, and this one in a part of the thigh. And one pops up and out of play. Again, off the seats and back in the Ryde dugout. Ludbrook battling here, 1-2. Can't check his swing. Or maybe he does. It's a called strike. Ludbrooks goes down swinging. We'll call that a strikeout looking. And that ends the top of the third. Manly get a couple of base runners, but can't do anything with them. I'll have to play some strong defense here and send this game to the fourth, tied at 3. Ryde will have other things to say when they come up.
Have you got a band-aid, bro? You got a band-aid? Band-aid.
3-4-5 for the Ryde Hawks. Oliver Flockstruck will lead us off here in the bottom of the third. He's recovered from the little knock he took. As well as Brad Dalton. Two of them coming together on a pop fly in foul territory. Flockster straight down the longer. And Patterson back out the mound for inning number 3. Manley with that arm up in the bullpen once again. It's Connor Clark up there. Being lifted by a Flockster. A couple of falls on the right side of the grandstand saying get out ball, but the only way that was getting out was an out on the scoreboard. Straight down the throat of Dan Mills out there in left field. One away here. Start the bottom of the third. Lucas Gallardo. His pitch is there for a call strike. So the first official change doesn't come from doesn't come from the playing teams. Comes from the officials with Paul Jones taking over from Steve Bigwood. Jonesy taking over the third base umpire's role. Gallardo pounces on that one, but fouls it up out of play. On 2 here to the right catcher. Patterson missing a little bit high on that pitch. Strike 3 on the catch of Gallardo. Patterson freezes him. Strikeout Gruppala looking to end the second. And he strikes out Gallardo here for the second out of the third. Now looking for a 1-2-3. Ryde had theirs in the first. Manley would love it here. Ryan Cho, ground ball. Morris playing in. And Manley do get the 1-2-3. Sometimes finding that third out can be the hardest. But Patterson needed, I probably think by count, 10 pitches to get through that inning. We have a 3-3 ball game headed to the fourth. Actually, you're going to lead it off for Manley. It'll be 7, 8, 9. Second time through the lineup. Sheegan had base hit back in the first. First pitch, Egan is away for ball one. Hit 289 on the season, going 11 for 38. 9 singles, double, a triple. Drove in 9, scored 8 times. 9 walks, 13 strikeouts. But he's got 2 hits today in the preliminary final. Single to right, now a single to left. Leading off for Manley here in the top of the fourth. Trying to shift the momentum into the favour of the boys from the Northern Beaches. 9-inning game, of course, in all finals. No time limit. We play extras if we need them. No ghost runner. Regulation baseball. First pitch to Austin Holly. Dragged away for ball one. No movement yet in the bullpen for Ryde. Fouls it off. One on one to the Manly right fielder. Checks on Egan over at first. Holly pops it up. Back for it, Heap. Takes it in shallow centre field. Cooper Wilson was right behind him, so too Brad Dalton. And we're making sure that that ball wasn't hitting the ground and secure the first out of the inning. And the pop out to second base and shallow centre field. And the pitcher for Manley, Aidan Patterson. Bottom of the zone for a called strike one. And they'll be wanting to turn the lineup over. And their big hitters back. Patterson with a 294 average, and that'll allow Egan to move up on the wild pitch. 294 average for Aidan Patterson. 10 hits from his 34 at-bats. 2 of them are doubles. Drove in 9. Scored 7. 5 and 5 walk-out strikeout ratio. Sorry, walk to strike ratio. Another one popped up. Back again for it, Heap. 2 pop-outs to the second baseman, Heap. Caracas is getting a bit of soft contact. So Manley turned the lineup over to the leadoff man, Luke Donaghy. Grounded out to third and grounded out to second so far. Top of the fourth, and he's having his third at-bat. Outside corner, that's the called strike. Caracas is finding some happy hunting ground. 0-2 to the Manly leadoff. Lays off that breaking pitch on the outside corner. Cass is asking where the ball was. Probably a little bit low. Yeah, just didn't quite maintain the heights. Probably a little bit too much for the liking of Reece Callahan. Outside corner. Well, it's not unusual for me to get the pitch count wrong. That'll make it 2-2. I'm getting away from Garda for a moment, but full count confirmed there by the umpire Callahan. Donaghy, 500 hitter on the year. 1.34 OPS. 4 doubles, 3 triples. That one, though, hit to the third baseman. Cho knocked it down, but he won't have a play. Donaghy will beat it out. So 2-out single there for Luke Donaghy. And moves Ash Egan up to third. So Manley, 2-out runners on first and third. Like this guy goes out and puts out the runners on the corner. Defensive situation. Donaghy takes off straight away. First move, he's gone. Josh King, the hitter, struck out, grounded out in his first 2 at-bats. He's hit 341 of the season with 15 hits from 44 at-bats. And that one's going to go straight down the throat of Cooper Wilson out at centre field. And a Ryde. Allow a couple of base runners, but they get out of it on a couple of pop-ups and they fly out to centre field. This game remains tied, heading to the bottom of the fourth. Brad Dalton, Lachlan Heap, Jonah Bett for Ryde, due up here in the fourth. Aidan Patterson. Back out in the mound. He's tied 7 of the last 8. Just 2 base hits in his last 3 innings. Sorry, last 2 innings. Brad Dalton was one of those. This one, though, popped up. Back for it, King. Couple steps back. And then cuts it down for the first out of the inning. Patterson on the season through 30 innings, 30 and 1/3, 5 games as a starter. Only 8 earned runs on 28 hits, struck out 24, walking just 9. Pitched to a 2.37 ERA, which is some very tidy numbers. Hitters did hit 248 off him. He was able to strand them. 87 runners he left on base. Sorry. As a team, Manley stranded 87. Patterson had 27 of those. I'll just click back one too many pages. Look on Heap now. Fouls that one off. Kent remains 3-2. That one landing on a chair up in the stand. 63 pitches now for Patterson. Goes up the ladder, gets heaps of swing and miss. Heaps filthy with himself, and that might be it for Aiden Patterson here. Sean Shivers is coming out. He's going to go straight to the umpire, Callahan. He's got a glove in hand, which may mean a change is coming. That's 64 pitches for Patterson through 3 1/3, 3 2/3, in fact.
Yeah, Clark.
So Connor Clark's going to come into the game and most likely take over on the mound. Adam Patterson will probably go to right field. Interesting change here by Sean Shivers, made halfway through the inning. No, he came flew. He's given the outfielder's glove. So Aiden Patterson will go to second base when he comes back on, and Connor Clark will take over on the mound. So we'll pause for the pitching change and then come back with the rest of this bottom of the fourth. So Connor Clark takes over, looking for one out for Manley. The batter he's going to face is Jonah Beth, who popped out to Lachlan Ludbrook back in the second. Connor Clark fires it in. Aidan Patterson remains in the game as the second baseman. Connor Clark will hit in place of Austin Holly. Aidan Patterson able to stay in the game as he started the hitter Lachlan Heap for his 60 pitch limit threshold. He's allowed to finish the batter and stay in the game. Pitch a little bit high and inside, so 2 balls and a strike here to Beth. Interesting change made by Manley here in the 4th. Connor Clark, 25 and a third innings of work. He's faced 119 batters. Tips it into the glove. There was the count at 3-2. Just 9 earned runs on 30 hits, 10 walks, 16 strikeouts. And he's hit 2 batters. Full count pitch. Beth goes down swinging. Little nervous start, but he gets the strikeout to finish the inning. We remain tied here at 3-3 in the New South Wales State League under 18 preliminary final, headed to the 5th. So Kane Flew lead it off for Manley here in the top of the 5th. 3-3 ball game. Runs coming in the bottom of the 1st and the top of the 2nd. Manley making the second change of the day, you could say, after we had a change in the umpiring crew due to injury to Steve Bigwood. Manley making the first player personnel change with Connor Clark coming in to record that final out of the 4th inning. So the book closed on Aidan Patterson. Who tied the last 6 hitters rather, for the final out of the 3rd, 3 up, 3 down. Sorry, final out of the 2nd, 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd. And the 2 outs in the 4th. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 3 runs, all earned on 3 hits. Struck out 3. So maybe it's just something about the 3s that Coach Sean Chivers enjoyed. 64 pitches, 41 strikes. So, good pitch economy there. And that was after a pretty ugly first inning. Brad Carricass is back out for inning number 5. He's given up 3 runs, none of them earned, on 6 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Oh, pulled ball there. Ryan thought they had strike 3. Carricass doesn't like it. I thought it was a pretty good pitch, but the only person that matters is Ruth Callahan, and he called it a ball. That'll fill the count up 3-2. And flew on the ground to the shortstop. Nice play made there by Lincoln Gruppala. First out of the inning for the Hawks. Caracassis, just the 3 appearances on the season. 11 and 2/3 innings pitched. That one hit by Zach Morris. High chopper by 2 Frank Cho. It's called a foul. Called a foul by Reece Callahan. Going to go back and see why maybe it was called foul. Maybe you thought it had come off the foot of Zach Morris. Hence for the bounce. It looks like it's bounced off the corner of home plate. And O'Neill came out and remonstrated straight away. Once you call foul, that kind of kills the play, and everyone usually just gives up on it. I don't think Ryde are going to be happy with this call either way. You can't really call the player out. As you expect, the player would have given up on the play. Just trying to go back and Morris did run it out, but only half-heartedly. And Matt O'Neill's going to get the explanation here from Reece Callahan, and probably not going to like it. And he's going to go over Sean Shivers, so maybe this might go against Manley. Going to get those ground effect mics a little bit closer to the action. So they are going to call Morris out on the play. Ryde do get the call thereafter. And second out here on the 5-3 play by Ryan Cho. Mills hacks at the first pitch. Underneath it is Foxtra. And Ryde works for 1-2-3 here in the 5th. Is that a little bit of momentum swing that Ryde need? We'll find out when they come back up the bat here in the bottom of inning number 5. My 1-2 for Ryde here. Liam Warren, Cooper Wilson, Lincoln Gruppler. Bottom of inning number 5. Long grounded out to Zach Morris back in inning number 2. He's had to wait a while for his second at bat. And then pulled out by Connor Clark. Inside corner, doesn't get the call. Oh, he did get the call. Turn 1. Rips it hard, but foul into the Manley bullpen. That one on the ground. Zach Morris over to Ash Egan. I'll tell you what, the defense from the left side of the infield today on both teams has been nothing short of spectacular. Zach Morris for Manley, Ryan Cho and Lincoln Gruppelar for Ryde. They've had plenty of action come their way through the first 4 and the third innings. But Ryde go back to the top of the lineup. Cooper Wilson, a pair of singles. Centre field in the first. Left field in the second. Fouls that one out. Liam Warren grounding out both times to Zach Morris so far. Of course, we're playing 9. Extras if needed. No time limit. Ground ball. Hits a Luke Donaghy. When we talk about defense played by shortstops, there's another one you can tick off. Luke Donaghy, his first bit of action here in what is now the afternoon. So 2 away for Lincoln Gruppelar. Right shortstop. Cole Parkness is down for ball 1. Two and 0 here to the right shortstop. Connor Clark finds the zone. 2 balls and a strike. And one popped up, but they'll get out of play into the grandstand. No, not quite. Into the concourse. Evans count at 2 and 2. Below was hit by a pitch and scored a run back in the first and then struck out looking to end the second. Ground ball. Knocked down by Morris. Can he get up? He probably won't have time to make the play. So Manly's run of 9 straight retired comes to an end. Put a nice knockdown by Zach Morris in the hot corner. Almost made it 10. Well, I'll have to deal with Oliver Flockstra instead unless Manly can find a way to get Gruppelar on the base paths. And Flockstra jumps on that first pitch in front of Clark. A couple of hits here now for Ryde. Sometimes it only takes one, and that one came from Gruppelar. Can the Hawks now pick up a bit of momentum? Said it last inning with Morris given out on what some people thought was a foul ball. Well, that might have been a swing of momentum. They've had a couple of base hits and then a wild pitch from Connor Clark. Lucas Gallardo, the catcher. Ground out and struck out looking. .385 hitter on the season. 15 for 39. That one ground ball to Morris. And Manley do find the third out. They strand a pair of runners. And they survive a little bit of a two-out rally by the Ryde Hawks. We're tied up at 3, heading to the 6th. Six, seven, eight for Manley. Ludbrook, Egan, and Clark. Ludbrook swings, and that ball's just going to bounce up the line and bounce foul. Ludbrook reached on the fielder's choice and scored. Struck out looking to finish the third. And then Ryde trading zeros on the scoreboard. And they were probably the better opportunities so far. So one hit of Ludbrook. Called out by Karakasis. Fouled off. Fills the count up 3-2. So 11 2/3 for Karakasis, all of them starts. He's only had one game where he pitched into the 5th. This one hit on the ground. Decalaru comes up, makes the throw over to first base and retires Ludbrook for the first out. I'm up in the pen now for Ryde. 3 runs all earned on 4 hits. He's walked 7, struck out 12 in his 3 appearances. 1 hit batter. Pitched to a 105. batting average against, and a 2.31 ERA. Ash Egan's got a pair of hits today. Also got a couple of foul balls to start off this at bat. One away in the dirt. Hard ball hit to Grupelar again, a couple of bounces, and he feeds it over to Foxter at first. The last 5 outs have all been by the way of the ground ball. 4 of them to Grupelar. Zach Morris, the only one who hit it to Ryan Cho at third. Then Connor Clark gets his first action in the batter's box. Inning a third under his belt on the mound. Fouls that one off. 1-2 now the count to Connor Clark. Didn't want to swing at that one. He opted out at late. And Connor Clark goes down on strikes. And Brad Carrick-Cassis is going to get the handshake from manager Matt O'Neill. His afternoon is done. They'll go to the bullpen when we come back to the 6th. And Ryde will see if they can get a run on the board and make Carrick-Cassis the pitcher of record when we return with the bottom half of this 6th inning. On Chow takes the first pitch from Connor Clark. Fourth strike, 1-0-1. He's going to start the bottom of the 6th. On 2 off the end of the bat. But right it came flew in right field. And Manley probably with their strongest defensive alignment now after that pitching change to put Adam Patterson at second, which moved Kane flew out to right field. And the outfield of Donaghy, not Donaghy, it's Mills, King, And the fluke, infield of Morris, Donaghy, Patterson, and Egan. One book to catch up. He's caught the bulk, if probably not all, of the innings for Manley this year. Don't actually know who the Ollie Beck, who has been out with injury early in the year, has played predominantly in the outfield when he has played. Kane Flew might have a shot at first base here. The throw, he hits at first, 9-3. First base goes for Ryde, trying to appeal that the Ash Egan was off the bag, but Kane Flew saw the opportunity, hustled on the ball, fired a strike to Ash Egan, and that is a very good play to retire Brad Dalton and to pick up a second out here in the bottom of the sixth for Manley. Kane Flew with probably the play of the game so far, and there has been some very good defense on both sides. But that is one way to get an out. 9-3. Yeah. Lachlan Heap now, the second baseman. 2-1. Guess you got to put that a ground out to 9. It's going to look interesting on the stat sheet. Two and two. Here to Lachlan Heap. Fouls it off. Stays alive. Ground out to second base and a strikeout. First two at-bats so far. Manly about to finish their fourth time through the lineup. Right, with still a couple of at-bats to finish cycle number 3. Shows you the opportunities that Manly have had. And that is a strike 3 called against Lachlan Heap. Shakes his head and walks away in disgust at Reece Callahan. And Ryde go down in order. We head to the championship innings of this preliminary final. Tied at 3. Who will break first? So Brad Caracas has got the handshake after the 5th, which means a new pitcher was coming out for Ryde here. Sorry, after the 6th, rather, which meant a new pitcher was coming out here in the 7th. Ryde have gone to the lefty in Dan Thwaites, who's thrown 40 and 2/3 innings. He's started 6 of those games. Nathan Patterson, the 9-hole hitter. Starting pitcher for the Eagles. With the game in the 4th with a no decision. Caracas will also have a 6-inning outing with no decision. Fouled off by Patterson. Thrains has given up 20 earned runs on 42 hits, struck out 39, walked 18. Pitched against Manley on both games, 5 2/3 back on November 18, 5 1/3 on the 20th of January. Patterson on the ground to Heap. Little bobble. He recovers in time. For out number 1. Through 82 pitches on November 18 and then 96 in the January game. Being used in relief here. Luke Donaghy back at the top of the lineup for Manley. Up and away. That one missing again from Thwaites. So 3-0 to the Manley leadoff. 1 for 3 so far, a pair of ground outs. And then singled to Cho, who could only knock it down. And it'll be a 4-pitch walk. So Manley with the man aboard. And another opportunity. That walk breaks up a run of 8 straight outs for Manley. So they've had a pair of back-to-back 3 up, 3 down innings. Josh King 0 for 3. Strikeout, ground out, fly out so far for his preliminary final. Donaghy takes off, hit and run. That one into centre field. Cooper Wilson over to it, and he makes the catch. Record out number 2, so back-to-back fly out to centre field for Josh King. And Manly have to try and score the run down with 2 outs, and Kane Flew coming up to bat. So Ryde bringing in the lefty with a pair of lefties. Chew up for Manley. It's the second of them here in Kane Flew. There's pitch of Blues there for ball 1. Donaghy checks back to first. Donaghy steals second base. So now in scoring position. Flew with a fly out in the first, single in the third, and a ground out in the 5th is batted in. All of the in the odd innings so far. Bats here again in the 7th, keeping with tradition. And wild pitch from Thwaites. Thought for a minute that ball might have hit the bat. Flew left the periscope out. Matt O'Neill's going to come out and chat with his pitcher. So Flew unlucky that he didn't cause an issue there. Wild pitch allowing Donaghy to move up the 3rd. Now another wild pitch or a base hit away and giving Manley the first lead of the ball game. 7 outs left for Manley to take the lead. 9 remaining for Ryde. That one up high, 3-1. We'll see what Flew decides to do here. Both bullpens are empty. Fouls it off. So that'll fill up the count for Kane Flew. Draws the walk, 4-4. And O'Neill wanted the strike call, but it was definitely low and outside. There's Callahan with the talk to the hand motion back to the dugout. Manley will now have runners on the corners. We'll see what they do with Kane Flew at first. Terra walks on the inning. The Thwaites out of the pen, 16 pitches now. Big time here for Manley. Just as big a time here for Ryde. Thwaites gets Morris to swing and miss. The Manley move Flew, they rely on Morris to drive in Donaghy. Thwaites takes a minute to reset. Gallardo just making sure he gets the right pitch call. Outside corner, laid off. Morris with a walk. Single and a ground out. He's 1 for 2 on the day and a run scored. We've had 9 straight zeros posted on the scoreboard. Pitch at the bottom of the zone. 2-1. Hit a Morris. Grounded out in his last at bat on a pitch that thought it might have gone foul, but wasn't to be. Fouls that one off. Thwaites jams him up. Morris can only get it off the hands. Two. Thwaites gets his call. Morris set in the box. Too high. So the count is full. So we'll be going on the pitch. Morris can put something in play. Manley might pick up 2. Thwaites sets with the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Too high out of the zone. I think Thwaites is asking for another baseball. The bag for Callahan is empty. So Dan Mills with the bases loaded. What can he do here? Takes the first pitch from Thwaites. Called strike 1. Mills would love a big time hit here. That one maybe not where Mills thought it was. 0-2 here for Dan Mills. Outside corner. Mills lays off. Mills fouls off the 1-2. Stays alive in the at-bat. Check swing. Another chance here for Dan Mills. Donaghy at third. Flew at second. Mills lifts it. Right side. Wilson over for it. And Cooper Wilson makes the catch. Manley leave the bases loaded. Thwaites gets out of the jam. Missing an opportunity to take the lead. We'll see how Ryde responds when we come back in the bottom of the seventh. Three here, bottom of the seventh. And Matt O'Neill's gone to his bench. He's going to get a Frank Clark to hit in place of Jonah Beth in the DH spot. This is going to make my scorecard look all ugly now. Called strike by Connor Clark. So no movement yet by Sean Shivers. Potential bullpen move. Frank Clark straight back up the middle. Start it with a base hit. That's how you want your pinch hitter to come into the game. Frank Clark's the ball with a single into center field. That one moved inside to Liam Warren. And Warren jumps out of the way. Liam Warren, the 9-hole hitter. Swings and misses. Nice breaking ball. Just the 4 appearances for Warren on the season. He only had 2 at-bats before this game, so doesn't have a batting average. 0 for 2 today. Outside corner, just missing the spot. 2-1. Fouls it off. A little bit of bat on that, but falls foul. Two-two pitch here coming for Liam Warren. Check on the runner. There's Clark hustling back to the bag. Double play be pretty handy here for Manley. Clark takes off. Strong throw by Ludbrook. And Clark is under the tag by Paul Jones. Clark steals second. Sean Shivers is going to go out and ask the question. A nice strong throw by Lachlan Ludbrook. He's just going to go out and ask the question. You're going to ask. Brandon Lee waves him off and said it wasn't my call. It was Jonesy's call. Pitches high to Liam Warren. So 3-2 now to Liam Warren. Frank Clark is the go-ahead run. Standing at second base. Thanks, Callahan, just confirming the balls and strikes. Strike three called on Liam Warren. Stood there like a lamppost. Thought that ball might have been going inside, but Connor Clark gets the break on it to strike him out. And that's a big confidence boost for Manley. Important first out of the inning. Back to the top of the order. Cooper Wilson saying he needed to keep his elbow down. Top of the zone. 2-0 to Cooper Wilson. 13 for 40 on the season, 325 batting average. Drove in 8, scored 13. 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. All of his hits were of the single variety, sold 13 bases. Fouls that one off. He was 13 for 14. So Manley will be hoping to keep him off the base paths. Over 3 and 1 for 4 in the regular season. Lifted high. Right side. Flew back for it. Clark tagging. That was deep enough. Won't have a play at third. Flew didn't really get the ball in hard. Clark was a third of the way down the line from second and then realised the ball was going to go a little bit deeper than maybe you first thought. Painfully makes the catch, but maybe with a little less energy or maybe was just happy to give up the out, allow Clark to advance and put the faith in Connor Clark and the Manly defence to retire Lincoln Gruppala and get out of this 7th inning. Clark needs to be careful, though. He can't afford anything to get past the catch of Ludbrook. He has had a few do that. So he'll need to be very tidy here. Gruppala was hit by a pitch in the first, struck out looking to end the second, and singled back in the 5th. Connor Clark finds the outside corner. Gruppler hitting 458. Ryde's best hitter on the season. So they've got the man here to do the job. Inside call. Call the ball. Ludbrook maybe stood up a little bit too early on that one. Didn't give himself a chance to frame it and make him look good. 458, 11 for 24, Gruppler. 2 extra base hits. Drove in 5. Big run to drive in here. Fouls it off. Into the screen. 12 walks, 13 runs for Lincoln Gruppler. .500 hitter with the runners in scoring position. The count goes full here. Manley looking to get out of the inning. Ryde looking to take the lead. Ground ball hit to Morris. Picks it up on the backhand. Fires a strike over to first. Manley get around the leadoff single by the pinch hitter, Frank Clark. They get the strikeout, the fly out, and then the ground out to finish the inning. We're all locked up at 3. We're headed to the 8th. Moving to the 8th inning here at Blacktown International Sports Park in this under-18 preliminary final. Manley had the bases loaded in the top half of the 7th, and then Ryde had the go-ahead run. Standing on third base, but neither team could find it within themselves to give them a lead. It was offense in the first inning and a half, and it's been defense ever since. As the offense has had opportunities, the defense has been up to the task and shutting down the attacks. Danthwaite, who came on in the 7th inning, took over from Brad Caracassis, who was strong through 6th. Outside corner, nicely framed up there by Lucas Gallardo to get the called strike. Malcolm Lovebrook is officially 0 for 3. They did score Manley's second run back in the first. He's also been handy behind the plate. Zach Morris heading up to the pen for Manley. That's up and away. And Malcolm Ludbrook draws the lead-off walk to get it started for Manley. See what the Eagles decide to do here. Lower half of the order. Ash Egan is 2 for 3 today. First time he gets to see Thwaites. Manley not looking for the play small ball. Called strike 1. Bottom of the zone. Egan lays off. Three stolen bases for Lachlan Ludbrook so far in the season. Check over at first. Moving back diving head first in the bag. Another couple of arms up in the pen for Ryde. A lefty and a righty. Oh, wow. Top of the zone. 2-2 for Ash Egan. Thwaites keeping Ludbrook close. Egan can't check his swing and he's down on strikes. So Manley with the opportunity there to maybe move a runner in scoring position. They're unable to do it. It's going to be up to the 8 and maybe the 9-hole hitters to try and turn the line up over here in the 8th and give Manley a lead. Connor Clark takes the first pitch up for ball one. Second pitch to Manley pitcher is a little bit too high, so 2-0 here to Connor Clark. Three and 0 to Clark. So we've already had the lead-off walk to Ludbrook. Can Thwaites compose himself and find a strike here to Connor Clark. He issues the 4-pitch walk. O'Neill's going to come out of the dugout and chat with his pitcher. They cut runners on here for Manley. Pressure starting to build a little bit for Ryde. But they've been here a handful of times so far throughout the game and they've been able to get out of it. Manley stranding plenty of runners so far today. They have the bases loaded in the previous inning. And did go 6 up and 6 down before that. They've had runners on base in the innings between inning 1 and inning 5. So Aiden Patterson already has a triple. Showing bunt, pulling it back, called strike in the outside corner. They were just trying to throw Thwaites off a little bit. Now Thwaites communicating with Chow at third. Popped up, but up on the roof of the scoreboard. Puts Patterson in the 0-2 hole, though. They only have the go-ahead run, standing at second base. 9-hole hitter, Aiden Patterson behind 0-2. Inside pitch. Too low there. Patterson lays off. Count now 1-2. Top of the zone. Patterson freezes. Didn't think it was a strike. It's 2 big strikeouts for Dan Thwaites here in the 8th. Breaking ball at the top of the zone. Throws Patterson. Thwaites is 1 out away. Getting out of this inning. Manley go back to the top of the order with Luke Donaghy. 1 for 3 with a walk. Fouls that one off into his leg. Flight to work from in front. Donaghy takes a moment to work off the pain in the leg and adjust his batting gloves. Just a tick over 2.5 hours so far. This under-18 preliminary final. Donaghy goes to the right side. Lachlan Ludbrook's going to be way to third. The ball gets past the right fielder. And Manley are going to take the lead here in the 8th. Donaghy moves up to second base on the throw. And finally, a team has broken through and taken control of this baseball game. Donaghy slicing that ball into right field. And unfortunately, he got through the legs of Brad Dalton out there. Sean Shivers was ready to put the stop sign. In fact, he had the stop sign up on Ludbrook at third. And as soon as the ball got through the legs of Dalton, the windmill got going. Ludbrook came and scored, and Manly lead at 4-3. Two for 4 for Luke Donaghy today. Can Josh King give Manly some insurance? King is 0 for 4. He'd love to pick up a huge hit here with the game on the line. Two-out RBI, a massive one for Luke Donaghy. That one too high. Hence wait. Find the zone and get out of this inning. Up the line, but foul, kicking off the top and back into play. Surely that's play on. I'm sure the Manly supporters will be hoping that, but it is foul. Josh King will have to try again. Wait till get another chance to find the out. Let's go. 1-2 here for Josh King. Fouls off the pitch on the outside corner. Keeps himself alive. Number 1-2 here for King. Down in the dirt, laid off. Good patience thrown there by the Manly centre fielder. Two and two to count. King rips it left field down the line, but there's a man there. And making no mistake is Liam Ward. He makes the catch. But Manly are in the lead. They need 6 outs to punch their ticket to next week's grand final. How will Ryde respond when we come back with the bottom of the 8th? I don't call them the championship innings for nothing, and we're certainly arrived here. Manley with a run on the top of the eighth. Ryde will need to respond, and they're going to send 3, 4, 5 up to the dish to try and get it done. Connor Clark drags down the first pitch. In the dirt for ball one. Took us 11 half innings to finally get another run on the board. After we started with a flurry at the bottom of the first and top of the second. Oliver Flockstra hit by a pitch. Flight out to centre field. Singled into left. This one popped up on the infield. Donnie's screaming after it. And he takes it at the base of the mound for out number one. .52 pitches for Connor Clark. Three and 2/3 so far. Just the 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, 0. Everything else. You can put a hit by a pitch in that column. Lucas Gallardo wearing that one in the back. He'll represent the tying run for Ryde. We'll see how creative Matt O'Neill decides to get. Intensity starting to lift both at ground level and in the stands. Healthy support for both teams here at Blacktown today. Ryde well represented in the State League. They have their women's team coming up next in the Women's League Grand Final. That one popped up right side. Patterson didn't look all that comfortable underneath it. But you don't mark prettiness in the scorebook. It goes down as a PO4. Manley have their second out, consolidating the 1 run they scored in the top of the half of the inning. Brad Dalton, 1 for 3. Single fly out, ground out. Down the dirt, will get away from Lubrook, all the way to the back fence. 2-0 to Brad Dalton. Ryde now have the tying run in scoring position. Connor Clark work his way back. Check swing. Clark to it. Comes in. Ash Egan gets there to the bag and the high throw, but Egan holds on. Manley hold on. And they'll take a 4-3 lead into the 9th. That was nerve-wracking, but they've got it done. And we'll see what happens here in the final inning of regulation. Manley with a 1-run lead. So we're in the ninth. Game that has been heavily dominated by the defence after early runs. Sees Manley hold a one-run lead. 1 foot in next week's grand final against the Cronulla Sharks. Kane Flute, Zach Morris, Dan Mills, the three hitters due up for Manley. Welcome Heap, Frank Clark, and Liam Warren, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Will be scheduled for Ryde in the bottom half of the night. So we're going to miss there by a fluke. 1 and 2 to the Manley lefty. Inside. Fluke couldn't wear it on the elbow. Ducks out of the way of it, 2 and 2. 1 for 3 and a walk for Fluke. That one lifted deep and straight at Cooper Wilson at centre field. Vanthwaite still on the mound for Ryde. He's been asked to go out there and finish it off. I did have a couple of arms warming in the bullpen, but Matt O'Neill stuck true to his big lefty. He is on the hook for the loss, though, unless his team can at least tie the ball game up in the bottom half of the ninth. Connor Clark, pitcher record for Manley. Zach Morris foul tips it into the glove of Gallardo. No balls and 1 strike. Ground ball over the head of Thwaites, but straight at Gruppala, who comes in. It's a nice straight toss over to Flockster at first, and Ryde have 2 outs. So Dan Mills will bat with 2 outs. Can Manley get something going here late? Or will Ryde come up in a 1-run ball game? They won't want to send this to extras. They'll want to do it in the night. Manley, look, Connor Clark on the mound. They may look to go to a closer. They did have Zach Morris warming up in the previous inning. Mills pops it up, right side. Flockster moving over in foul territory. His bench yelling out, you've got room. And he had plenty of it because he makes the catch on the dirt next to the fence. And a 3 up, 3 down inning, just the way Ryde wanted it. We're heading to the bottom of the ninth. It's Manley 4, Ryde 3.
Yeah, so they put it in most difficult technical DNA anyway. So for me, and you know, hearing I'm sorry. I know. And I so big I'm calling them. Yeah, but no, it's out. Yeah. So, yeah, good. I didn't even yeah. So I think, you know, like when you say, well, and from
So Manley do make the pitching change. They go to Zach Morris. You're going to ask him to come out and lock this game up. 25 and 2/3 innings for Zach Morris on the season. Started 7 of his 10 appearances. Was through an inning against Ryde back in January 20. Those 6 batters gave up 2 runs, a walk and a strikeout. 11 of the 14 runs he's given up on the season earned. Struck out 35, walked 10. With a 3.86 ERA. Lachlan Heap, Frank Clark, Liam Warren. 3 batters at the end of the order. Responsible for getting Ryde at least into extra innings. And can they turn the lineup over and walk this under-18 preliminary final off? Breaking pitch, ground ball, hit to Flew. High throw, over the top. Ash Egan can't handle it. Connor Clark's gone to right field. And Ryde get a life. We've been saying how good the defense on the left-hand side of the diamond has been all day long. But sometimes when you make a change, the ball just follows you. Came Flew at his 3rd position today, started at second base, moved out to right field. And now with Zach Morris coming into the game and takes over at 3rd base. Fortunately for Manley, the runner in Heap wasn't able to advance past first on the wild throw. Lucas Oishi now the pinch runner for Ryde. Straight to Donaghy. One hop. And they turn the double play. Patterson turns the second leg. They get Oishi at second. And then they get Clark over at first. Just the way you want to be picked up after making an error. That ball took a little bit of an in-between hop on Luke Donaghy, but he stayed with it, got it up to Patterson at second, and then Patterson completed the twin killing. Manley now 1 out away from qualifying for their first under-18 grand final since 2018, where they'll take on the Cronulla Sharks. Another pinch hitter here, pinch hitter now. We have the pinch runner. Now we've got the pinch hitter. It's the lefty. It's going to check the lineups. It's Cam Howay for Ryde. And what a situation to come into. The team down a run, 2 outs in the 9th. Just 11 appearances to the plate in this season. That one a little bit high, though. He's ahead 2-1. He's 2 for 5. A double and a single. He's only 2 hits. That one on the outside corner. Morris fires. Bottom of the zone. Manley now 1 pitch away.
Yeah.
Ground ball up the line, but foul. Egan over to it. We'll have to repeat it again. 3-2. Cam Howay pinch hitting here in the bottom of the 9th. And 2 out. Zach Morris looking to pick up the save and send his team through to next week's grand final. Breaking pitch outside. Howay draws the wall. A good patience shown there by the pinch hitter. Ryde turned the lineup over. They'll send up Cooper Wilson.
Yeah, for it.
2 for 4 so far. Cooper Wilson has had a busy day in centre field, although everything hit his way has been regulation, so he hasn't had to track anything down.
Okay.
Bottom of the zone for ball 1. Zach Morris with the job to do here. Runner at first is probably of little consequence at the moment. Just focus on the hitter. That one's down the pipe. Wilson happy to take the 1-0 for 1-1. Supporters on both sides of the grandstand making plenty of noise, as you can probably hear in our effects, Mike. Morris fires in the 1-1. Down at the bottom of the zone, nicely blocked by Ludbrook. Keeps Howay at first. Zach Morris, deep breath on top of the mound, kicks and fires, misses outside. Don't want to put the winning run on base. Wilson's worked the count to 3-1. No win ever comes easy in any level of sport, and this has certainly proved that today. Pops it up, left side. Over to it is Josh King, and he makes the catch. And Manley cement their place in the 2023-24 Under-18 Grand Final. Congratulations. It was an absolute seesawing battle of a game. Manley had their chances. Ryde got out to the start. Manley responded. Pitching on both sides was top class. So was the defense. But it was the Eagles who get it done in the 8th. They scored the important run to go ahead. 4 runs on 7 hits. No errors in the column. Ryde with 3 runs on 6 hits. 2 errors competed in the field. But it was the Manly Eagles who come out on top. They go through to next week's grand final after finishing in the regular season in 4th spot. And they'll take on the Cronulla Sharks. Congratulations to both teams on a great, hardly fought preliminary final game. And we thank you for tuning in. We'll be back at 3 o'clock with our women's first grade grand final. So grab yourself some lunch, stretch the legs, and we'll see you back here in an hour.